Okay, you guys, hello. I'm about to take my very first ballet lesson in adulthood in a country where I am learning the language. I am so, so nervous. Here we go. So I literally filmed that part and then I went to the class, and now it's like almost a week later. I have another class in like 2 days. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about my experience a little bit because it was really good. First of all, I was like very nervous because of the language barrier. Like, I'm just learning, you know what I mean? Like, I'm learning Spanish, and right now we are at about 550 hours. But anyways, yeah, so I was like really nervous just because I was like scared that I was gonna go in there and just like not understand anything at all, and just like, yeah. But it ended up being really good. The class was very hard, and it had like nothing to do with the language. It had everything to do with my abilities. I used to do ballet. I was always a late bloomer in ballet because I literally did not start dancing until I was like 13, and like anybody who's in the dance world knows that that is considered late, especially for ballet. So I was always late in ballet because I grew up in a very artsy community, like artsy school district, thankfully. So it wasn't like it was hard to get dance classes from school. But yeah, so that's what happened. So I started dancing when I was like 13, and then when I went to high school, I actually went to, like I said, I lived in a very artsy area, so I was able to do the dance program in my high school, and like half of my day was dance and the other half was like the actual academic part. And so yeah, so by my third year of ballet I was able to get in point, and it was a really good experience. But then after that I stopped dancing because I moved and yada. And ever since then I've wanted to get back into ballet, but where I've lived, it's just been like very inaccessible because, like, for one, it was harder to find adult classes. For two, whenever I would find adult classes, they were just like inaccessible to my bank account. Like, no way I can afford that. So I never did it. A few years ago, like, I just bought my own bar, bought some clothes, and like I did like YouTube videos. I think from Ballet Misfit. Her channel was like a haven for me at that time. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I'm living in Chile, and yeah, I like needed to get out. I will admit sometimes it's hard for me because I'm just like, my language barrier just like gets in the way. It's like I'm learning, so like I feel like really nervous a lot. And so whenever I found out about these ballet classes, thanks to my partner, he's the one that showed them to me, I was like, without thinking, I just reached out to them and I was like, hi, like, are you guys like accepting new students? BT dubs. I'm not from here, so I am learning Spanish. Do you think that's going to be an issue? And actually, one of the instructors is bilingual, so she talked to me a lot. My instructor, though, is not. So whenever I actually got there for the class, it was fully in Spanish with a little bit of French, of course, because ballet vocabulary comes from French. And I have to say that was more of the hard part, was remembering what each of the words mean, because it's like once upon a time I knew them because I had done ballet, but a lot of it was like, oh yeah, remembering. Because I had ballet experience in the past, that definitely did help, because it's so crazy. Like, I did ballet like 10 years ago. Don't want to like age myself. It was like 10 years ago when I last did ballet, and it was crazy the way that like my body just like fell back into it and like remembered the steps, because it's essentially all the same, just like the sequence that you go through. And so yeah, that was actually very helpful. But yeah, whenever it came to the Spanish, I was pleasantly surprised. It literally was not that hard, especially because it was just like basic things like body parts and like go slower and go faster and up and down, and it really was not that difficult. And I like to do like yoga videos, and like I mainly done yoga videos. I think like some Pilates videos in Spanish on YouTube. I'm just like familiar with like more exercise vocabulary essentially, so that wasn't very difficult. However, yeah, sometimes like she would get on us, and like I understood why. It obviously helps that it's a physical activity, so she's like showing us as well. But there were some times like she got on us. She as a ballet instructor, she reminded me so much of the one I had in high school. Like I was eating it up. But genuinely, it was a difficult class. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, it was definitely, and it had more to do with my body. I was like, oh my god, like whenever I did ballet back then, like I did not realize what my body was doing, because I guess I was young. I don't know, like I I moved more. I don't know. It didn't seem like a lot, but now that like I'm throwing myself back into it, it's like, oh, this is a lot. Like my arms hurt, like my shoulders, like my back can't sustain my, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, but anyways, I just loved it. So I got to try the first class for free, but I'm going to go back and like obviously pay for the membership and everything. So I'm just so excited, and it just feels nice to kind of like have something to do within the community, because I do work from home, so I don't actually like get to go outside a lot in the way of like being with community, unless I'm like going with like my friends or whatever. But like it is kind of like cool to like actually be like a part of something here that I can actually do. And yeah, it's just like exciting. I don't know, I'm just so excited to like to continue going, and just like, I don't know, just like to become better and better and better at ballet. And just like, I don't know, I've seen like some adults like get in point, and like I would love for that to be me one day, and like to actually like perform again, or like, I don't know, that's just like so exciting to me. And like that would like literally like make all of like my dreams like from childhood come true. Like I've learned Spanish, I'm learning Korean, and like now I'm doing ballet. Like inner child healed, like hello. But anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching. It's kind of different from what I usually do, but this is just something that was so exciting to me, and it does go hand in hand with language learning, because the entire class is in Spanish with some French. But anyways, yeah.